Open up right now. You're not allowed to live here. I can still hear her voice, echoing through my hallway, like some fever dream or a reality TV episode that went off the rails in my own living room. Day 3 in my new place, and this woman's pounding on my door so hard I thought the hinges might give out. Pink blazer, wild eyes, full throttle, yelling about trespassing in a house I literally just bought. She says, "I'm the HOA president. Get out, or I'm calling the cops." I'm just standing there in my socks, coffee mug in hand, honestly wondering if I'd moved into the Twilight Zone. If you think that's where the crazy stopped, buckle up. Because it got so much worse, especially when she found out one tiny detail about my property. Ever dealt with a neighbor on a power trip? Drop a comment below, because this ride is just getting started. So, here I am, 3 days into my new life at 4782 Oakage Drive, finally getting boxes unpacked, coffee brewing, sunlight coming through that massive old oak in my backyard. Then in storms Karen Thompson. Didn't even wait for a come in. The second I crack the door, she shoves past me, pink blazer a blur, righteous fury on a clipboard. "You have 5 minutes to explain why you're living here without my approval," she shrieks, spittle flying, face turning purple. I take a step back, try to play it cool. "Sorry, but who are you?" She acts like I just insulted royalty. "I'm Karen Thompson. I've run this neighborhood for 45 years. Every house, every person goes through me. And you're not on my list. You haven't paid fees, you haven't submitted your paint colors. This is completely unacceptable." She's flipping her clipboard like she's about to write me a ticket. I hold up a hand, try to get a word in. "Mrs. Thompson, there's been a mix-up. My realtor said this address isn't even part of an HOA. I shouldn't have said HOA. That word triggered something deep, like a switch." She slaps her hand on my wall so hard it leaves a dent, tells me every house on Oakage belongs to Maplewood HOA. She stares at me with this crazy conviction. I'm talking eyes that genuinely believe the world's out to get her. So, I go over to my laptop, pull up county records, show her the boundary lines. My property is not in her HOA, says so right here. But Karen? She's not even pretending to look. Knocks my laptop away, calls my paperwork fake, photoshopped, forged. Says she doesn't need to see my fabricated documents. Then she calls 911. No joke. She dials emergency services to remove me from my own house. She's shouting into the phone. There's a man illegally occupying a house in my HOA, refusing to leave, threatening me. I hadn't threatened a soul, but she's acting for the Oscars, telling them to send multiple units. I pull up Google Maps on my phone, zoom in, show that the HOA boundary is 52 feet from my property. She does not care. Hangs up the phone like she's just launched a nuclear missile. Tells me I've got 5 minutes to pack before I'm going to jail for trespass. I try, one more time, to reason with her. I bought this place. I have the deed, the title, insurance, everything. This is my house. She laughs, a sharp, almost scary sound. "Your property? Nothing here is yours. I decide who lives here." Then she gets real quiet. "For 45 years I've protected this neighborhood from people like you." The sirens hit before my coffee did. 3 police cars, lights flashing, pulling up in front of my new house. Karen runs out like she's being rescued from a hostage situation, throwing herself at the officers. I hear her putting on the show. "He moved in, no approval, won't leave, I'm so scared." I gather my paperwork, deed, insurance, everything, wait by the door. 2 officers come up, and the lead one, Officer Wilson, already looks like he's done with this. "We're responding to a trespassing complaint. Can you explain your side?" I hand him the deed, keep it calm. Just bought the place. She's mistaken about the HOA. He studies the deed, then looks over at Karen. "Ma'am, this appears to be a valid deed." She shrieks, "It's fake. Check your records." Officer Wilson radios dispatch, verifies the boundaries. "Not in any HOA." He turns back to Karen. "Ma'am, this property isn't part of your HOA." The silence after that was so heavy you could hear her world cracking. She's stammering. "That's impossible. 45 years. I've been here 45 years." But the officer is already done. "This gentleman owns this property. There's no crime here." As they get ready to leave, one of my new neighbors sidles up, Robert Miller, 3 houses down. "You held up better than the others," he whispers. "Others?" Turns out I'm the 18th person she's tried to chase off this exact property. Except I'm the first with ironclad proof. Maybe you'll finally stop her. As the police leave, Karen just stands on my lawn, staring at my house, muttering, "The maps are wrong. 45 years can't be wrong. That pink blazer's hanging off her like a cape that lost its powers." I realize right then, this is just the opening round. Whatever fantasy she's living in, she's not going to let go easy. Next morning, I wake up to 47 emails. All from Thompson HOA President at Gmail. Subject lines ranging from official warning to legal action imminent to "Why are you doing this to me?" I laugh, expecting entertainment. Big mistake. The emails are wild. Threats, rambling monologues, attached photos of my garbage cans, out too early, apparently, my car's illegal angle, even the newspaper on my driveway called visual pollution. She's been documenting my every move. I'm screenshotting everything when my phone rings. "Officer Carter, we need to talk about harassment complaints. Not against you, about you." 3 neighbors report Karen's been watching my house all night, setting up a lawn chair at 3 a.m. with binoculars and a camera. His partner chimes in, says they've been called here for similar disputes for 5 years. "We can file a harassment report. Keep documenting. Don't engage." Right on cue, Karen screeches into my driveway, still in her pink blazer, but now it's coffee-stained, yelling about stolen maps and hacked records. Neighbors start drifting over. Robert Miller steps up. "Karen, you made the Johnsons sell after you called the police on them 11 times in a month." Another neighbor pipes in about rose gardens. Someone else mentions curtain color fines. The more people speak, the smaller Karen seems to get. Officer Carter emails me a warning letter for Karen, and the crowd disperses, but not before Karen whispers, "45 years. I promise my father." That line stays with me. A few days later, her so-called board members, really her family, show up at my door. Jennifer, her niece, explains they've been playing along for years, hoping she'd calm down. Her brother-in-law, Richard, pulls out a coffee-stained folder. Names, dates, records of harassment, 17 families in all. They tried therapy, but after an old man died during one of her inspections, she claimed the therapist was conspiring against her. The full weight of it hits me. This wasn't just a busybody with too much time. This was trauma passed down and multiplied. Karen shows up again, powder blue blazer, 2 surveyors in tow, red string board under her arm. She's yelling about original lines, the oak tree, the missing creek. The surveyors tell her, again, the property lines never changed. Someone stole the creek, she says, lost in her own logic. Jennifer tries to comfort her, but Karen's breaking down. "If the boundaries are wrong, I've been wrong. I'm just a crazy old woman who ruined people's lives." I watch her leave, the fight gone from her walk. That night, sleep is out of the question. At 4 a.m., the cameras catch her outside, measuring the property line again, over and over, whispering to herself. Next morning, Jennifer drops off a crayon drawing. Karen's kingdom, a creek, daddy and me. A little girl's promise to protect her father's legacy. It's heartbreaking. With all this evidence, I finally meet with a local attorney, Patterson, who's been waiting years for someone to stand up to Karen. He's got files on every family she's driven out, stories of sabotage, false CPS calls, IRS reports. She doesn't just harass, she destroys. "No one ever fought back," he says. "You're the first." Then news vans show up. Karen's out there, pink blazer glowing, ranting on live TV about conspiracies, stolen creeks, government cover-ups. Patterson takes notes. She's now defaming me, making herself look even worse. Jennifer calls, crying, says they found hundreds of notebooks in Karen's house, years of letters to her dead father, every night reporting her progress. Patterson asks her to testify, to push for treatment, not jail. The legal process grinds forward. Karen's breakdown makes headlines. Her family gets her into treatment. The judge, sympathetic but firm, sentences her to probation, mandatory therapy, and a lifetime ban from HOA positions. The Thompson Act passes. HOA boundaries must be clear, enforcement powers are limited. The whole neighborhood breathes easier. 6 months later, Karen's on stage at a town hall, cardigan instead of blazer, apologizing, warning other HOA boards about what happens when rules become weapons. Victims forgive her, or at least find closure. A little girl hands Karen a drawing. This time, not a kingdom, but houses with open doors. Karen tears up. This is what neighborhoods should be. That night, as neighbors finally mingle and talk across invisible lines that divided them for decades, Karen stands beside me under the old oak tree. I spent 45 years building walls that didn't exist. Now I get to help take them down. She's finally living up to her father's legacy, not as a warden, but as a builder of community. So here's my question for you. Where do you draw the line between protecting what's yours and controlling what's not? Ever dealt with a neighbor like Karen? Drop your stories below. Let's talk about what real justice and real community mean. And if you've ever felt the urge to draw a boundary, make sure it's one that brings people together, not one that keeps them apart.